Marskies doesn't know where he's at. There he is. He jumped and made the mistake. Evan goes down. Marskies to the point. Boom. Crucial to City. Marskies gets the point. Crucial coming down. Crucial goes down to Marskies. Oh, Marskies is killing him for his team. Sunjust comes through. Goes down to Marskies. With Marskies going ham to seal for round 4. The Chicago Knights.
Now, if you want to shoot like that and hit clips like that in matches that are important, high pressure moments, follow this video. Yo, what's going on, guys? We're Marskies with that quality content, and today, guys, I'm giving the best class setups for competitive of any sort, ranked mosh pit, well, competitive mosh pit and rank play when it does come out in this next update. So we're gonna get straight into it. All right, so we're gonna kick it off here with the Vaznev. Of course, it is the best sub in the game competitively. MP7 is underwhelming, MX9 is underwhelming. The Lockman sub, mark my words, will be the meta once there's more DLC guns that gives it proper attachments, because this gun does not have, honestly, a good stock, and it doesn't have the sprint to fire ADS rear grip. Those two things alone could maybe put this gun ahead of the Vaznev, but besides that, the guns are very close. But in my opinion, the Vaznev edges it out just because of the attachments. Hurricane does not do damage. Mini Bank is pretty good, honestly. I actually like this gun, but competitively it needs a little bit more. And of course, we do not use DLC guns as they are not allowed. PW is not a DLC gun, but this gun is very weak. So straight to the gun itself, I mean, this is the class. There's almost nothing you need to touch. You have rear grip, sprint to fire speed, ADS speed. You need that as a competitive player 10 out of 10 times. Tunings, I don't use tunings. I follow GAs. I know a lot of amateur players do break them. There is no way to prove someone's tuning or not, so you kind of just do it to be safe. But if you're me, if you are trying to be respected more, I guess, and not just get called out or don't give people a reason to discredit you, so just don't use tunings. In my opinion, that is the best way to do it. This here is the best stock. You get sprint speed and you get walking speed. You're able to strafe on people a little bit more, check corners better, you know, just swing on people. This stock is also a very good option, but you do lose recoil control. But in my opinion, that ADS is like non-existent. I don't really see it, and unfortunately this year, no stock is the worst thing in the game. It makes every gun impossible to use with you know, the recoil. No matter what you do to make it accurate everywhere else, it's just not gonna aim straight. The underbarrel is the shark fin. It's just a free attachment. I mean, it doesn't do nothing really. It gives you idle stability, which I guess helps if you're just sitting there pre-aiming something. And that's really it. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could run Commando 4 grip, but like you're a sub, you don't really need to be focused on accuracy. And of course, anything that's an underbarrel, anything in the game, well, anything that's an underbarrel gives you this right here, hip fire accuracy, which is every single underbarrel in the game besides Commando, Edge, and I believe Shark Fin are the only things that don't do that. As you can see, they all give you, oh, this one actually doesn't either, but you get my point. For me, it's Bruin Muzzle Pendulum. There is some other you could use. For example, this one. This one is doesn't have vertical, but like you see, these are the same thing. The stat bar doesn't really move. I mean, it kind of does, but it doesn't. But it's just weird. They say they all have a different pattern to them. As you can see, it says the same thing, but like it's all preference, honestly. But I say majority of pros and players do use Bruin. If you want to, maybe for some reason this is mentally just not working for you, like if you have a weird mental block about Bruin Pendulum, I would recommend Lock Shot as the next best thing. Besides that, I mean, they're relatively all the same. But if you want to be weird, you can run something like Flash Hider or this Flash Hider, because one gives you steadiness, that one gives you stabilization. The other ones we've mentioned give you horizontal and vertical. So like this is a different feeling and pattern. I believe this one makes the gun feel pretty smooth, but it's still kind of kicking and shaking a little bit. I don't know, it's weird, but this is the best class in my opinion. And if you really want to, the only thing that I would add to this class would be the first barrel. You get damage range, you get a hip fire, you get bullet velocity. As I'll show you really quick the hip fire. So here we are in the range, right? This is about, you know, pretty decent sub gunfight. Bot's moving. That's not that bad for a hip fire as you're trying to prepare to aim in. The only problem that I have with this build is the ADS speed is atrocious for a sub. This thing is so slow, and if you go to jump shot somebody, it's even slower. So me personally, I don't use it, but more and more players are beginning to use it. So it's up to you, preference. You do have to play a little bit different. You can't just exactly just be challenging everybody. This here is the class that I've been using, as you've seen in the clips at the start of the video. It's by far my favorite class, and there's really nothing that I want to change about it. Secondary will be a knife. get around faster, longer tag sprint, of course. Best second option for a sub. You don't need to be running a pistol with a sub. It's just not necessary. Usually that second slot we picked up by an AR you find off the ground somewhere, so always make sure to have that habit as well. And here I have the same class for 3 slots. One has flak jacket, one has tac mask, and one has flak jacket again, but with a frag, mainly for S&D strats. And now for the AR that I will show you, there is a few builds. So this gun is like, you have a lot of things to do here. So this part of the video might be a bit longer, but please just understand that this gun can be ran in so many different ways. This is my build. This is the same build that Dashy uses, and a lot of other players, but there's only one difference amongst a lot of players who use this type of build, and I'll show you in a second. Starting off the Tundra barrel, it is a GA to where you have to run this barrel. Like, you have to put on the barrel. No matter if you want to or not, if you think it makes the gun slow or you think it's pointless, you have to use the barrel if you want to follow GAs. If you don't want to follow GAs, I mean, you can take it off, I guess, but I mean, it gives you damage range and bullet velocity. It's a good barrel. I wouldn't take it off, especially knowing that the hit scan is no longer a thing in Call of Duty, so the bullet travel does matter and the SCAR doesn't shoot too fast, so you can be penalized pretty heavily if you do not stay on target and, you know, get those shots hitting them quick. So everybody put on a Tundra barrel. I don't advise you to use any build where you don't have it. The underbarrel is shark fin for me personally, so I don't have any ADS penalty. As you can see, this class, once we get through all of it, doesn't have a single ADS penalty besides the barrel. So for me, it's shark fin. If this isn't your thing, if you actually want to be a little slower than I am, because I am a main sub, so when I pull out a SCAR, I want to be quicker than most, you can run commando foregrip. And with this exact build of commando foregrip instead of shark fin, it feels amazing. I really like it personally. I might do it myself, but in the meantime, I'm just kind of using shark fin for just capitalize on my movement. And I don't care who you are, you must absolutely run high velocity, bullet velocity. It's just going to make your gun feel better. You're going to feel like you're hitting shots quicker, more consistent. It's going to feel like you have better internet because, you know, bullet travel in this game is a thing. And in my opinion, it's really bad this year. So if you can put on anything that gives you bullet velocity, go for it. So yes, run this. It's a free slot. You lose damage range. You don't even see where that range is even being lost at, which is also made up by the barrel, so nothing to worry about. Rear grip, sprint to fire time, ADS speed. This game has a problem with ADS speeds and sprint to fire time and just the penalties from jump shotting, all that stuff. So you want this on any competitive weapon just to be ready than most. I mean, everyone does have this attachment on, so if you don't, you're definitely going to get beat if caught sprinting on each other or whatever the case may be. You want to use this. Now, there might be some builds you want to use recoil control. Maybe it's like a slow S&D class, but I feel like recoil control this year isn't as important as other things like stability, steadiness, you know, smoothness, vertical, horizontal, gun kick control. There's a lot of things to it. So recoil control, I feel like is your least of your worries this year. So let's continue. Now, as for the stock, I use Cardinal, sprint speed, and walking speed. I'm an AR. I'm going to be walking, strafing headies. That's just my intentions. And with this exact build, this is the ADS speed. So the ADS speed is pretty good. And then when I shoot my gun, I'm not going to hold the right stick. You see the kick. So this is maybe not the most accurate build out there. I just see when I control it. I mean, I shoot straight with it nonetheless. If you want the other build that people are using, like people like Beans from the Boston Academy, is using the same build but with this stock instead. It gives you more ADS speed. I don't know if you guys notice it too much. I notice it, but it's not really important to me. But the walk speed is definitely noticeable of a difference, and you're losing recoil control. So there's a little bit more going on there, but still, if that's something you want to try out, go for it. Or even try this exact same build but with the commando foregrip. So it's all up for debate what you want to do. These are 2 builds that I've already showed you. Technically 4 which stock you want to use with commando or shark fin. Now this is Illy's build from Optic Gaming or Optic Texas. This was a build I was using when this meta came out. Personally, I didn't really study nobody. I just like, you know what, this feels great, and this build does feel really good. Instead of using any underbarrel, because like shark fin isn't that crazy, it doesn't do much, just throw on a muzzle. Do keep in mind this muzzle slows down your ADS speed more if you were to just take off this and then replace it with commando foregrip. So it does feel different than commando foregrip. The ADS is slightly slower if you compared to commando foregrip. So this is how it feels. The ADS is still good, don't get me wrong. Of course, there's gonna be less vertical recoil. As you see, that climb was much slower. Now for my AR players who really want to be like that main AR type of slow roll, maybe your name's accuracy, maybe maybe you're named MLY Jumper. You know what I'm saying? Throw on this instead. You've given up the stock, but I promise you're going to be hitting your shots with this class. If you even care just a little bit more, could take off this and run recoil. But again, you will, like, this build requires discipline if you are going to do that. So I say at least still keep this on with the underbarrel and the muzzle, because at that point you're going to be very accurate. As you can see, it's still decent ADS speed. Sprint to fire time is alright. But the gun shoots straight. Hey guys, that is my build for the SCAR. This is the one that I use, gonna continue to use. If I do make a change, I would use Commando foregrip. That's the only thing I'm thinking of possibly doing. Again, like I said, there is other underbarrels you can use that are not GA. For example, Edge 47, as you see here, a little bit more stats. Like, you might not see it, but I can see it on my end. The green on accuracy and recoil control is a little better, but like a little less handling. So I mean, it's so minuscule. It's preference. I see people use both, but yeah. In the meantime, this is what I will be using. Now me, I do use a pistol on my SCAR class. The only time I really ever use a SCAR is like S&D. Maybe a couple little plays I do once in a while in respawn. I mean, I am the main sub again, so I don't pull out the gun for any reason besides S&D. That doesn't count. I mean, use what you need to use in S&D, so that's a little different. But this is my pistol. I am following GA, so yes, the pistol is very boring of a gun. Of course, sprint speed, ADS, pistol fast draw, so you're able to, you know, put the AR to the side, put the pistol in front of you. I don't know if you see that, you know what I'm saying? So that's really it with that. I mean, you don't need recoil control. You don't need, like, it's just pointless. As obviously the best rear grip to use. I use triport. I know it only gives you vertical compared to like horizontal in both, but like, it's a pistol. It reduces the ADS a little less than these two. It's very minuscule. Up to you. Again, these are just preferences, honestly. But they are all going to treat you the same. I mean, you're not going to get to drop more stats or more kills because you chose this over this. It's whatever, really. So don't go too crazy about it. Pick one you like and put it on. The only thing I guess you can do is maybe run, you know, one of these if you need more recoil control or bullet velocity. But it's a pistol. You should not be doing anything too crazy. Maybe this for the better ADS speed, but like, again, where it's at right now, it's fine. I don't really have much I can do. Fire rate triggers are GA'd, can't do that. These are all GA'd. No reason to slow down your ADS speed with these. Lasers are GA'd. You could run a sight if you're one of those people. I mean, I don't know. In a stock, this thing does shoot mad straight with a stock, but like, again, this is all overdoing it. You literally just need 2 attachments and just call it a day. As you can see, I mean, it's fine. There's nothing you need to do to it. It's a pistol. It doesn't shoot quick. You're asking maybe why I'm not using a different pistol. Well, this pistol is GA'd. This pistol, I'm not sure if it's GA'd, but it's a one shot to the head, so I'm assuming it's GA'd. This is definitely GA'd. It's a weird magnum, but like it can one tap close enough to like the chest, but then obviously headshots are one taps. And of course, the auto pistol is also GA'd. So we are left with the X12, which is a very fun pistol if you use a fire rate trigger, but of course you can't. And now lastly is my sniper class for competitive. If again, we're following GAs, so same pistol, and that's the sniper. I mean, the GA is that you cannot use attachments. Maybe you're allowed to use a different scope if you want to try a different scope. I don't recall if that's a GA or not. Do not quote me on that, but this is the class. So I mean, there's not much to show you. Why do I choose SPX over something else? I mean, it does have the best handling and mobility, as you can see here. It one-shots everywhere. I mean, I don't get hit markers with it. I don't know if you're allowed to use the sniper because it's a DLC sniper. MCPR is a great sniper. Like, great sniper. Great reticle, great dot, great sight. This is GA'd for sure. You cannot use that. Might be banned, actually. And the LEB 330, people use it. I don't know why people will use it so much, but I do understand that these scopes do have different, they zoom in differently. And this one in particular, I feel like it zoomed in really tight and I'm not a fan of it. So for me, SPX just feels the best comfortability. And I mean, if you are someone who in this video do not want to follow GAs, I would just recommend throwing on rechambering speed, of course, sprint of fire, ADS, put on whichever one gives you more. I believe it's this one. Yep, the second stock. And yeah, I mean, and then of course high velocity. You might as well throw on high velocity, like I always say. And if you want to throw like an ADS barrel, like with this, maybe depending on a smaller map, or just don't use a barrel at all, maybe just keep it down to 4 attachments and go for it. But yeah, that's really gonna be it. So that's really it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I've been away for a while. I do plan to do YouTube more again, as I do have the time on my hands. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Don't forget to follow, or actually subscribe, not follow, but subscribe. Follow the Twitter, follow the Twitch, and yeah, drop me comments. I love seeing you guys' comments and just give you guys feedback. And next video, I'm not sure what I'm gonna drop, but we're gonna see. I'll probably show you guys a thing or two about this game, and we will all learn together as the year goes on. Appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you very much.